positive is this team right now feeling after getting a really quality win there on the road last week?
They're feeling pretty good right now. I mean, they had a great practice today, which is good to see after a big win. Good road win for us. It's a team that we needed to come back and get a good win against us. They beat us last year, and I thought our kids played very well. In spurts we looked really good, and if we continue to build on those spurts, I think this is going to be a very good football team.
When you look at the game, in your tenure here, you guys have started slowly a lot. You get off on a nice 24-0 start. What changed out there in your eyes?
I think our guys, we had some confidence. We had a fourth down that we should have gotten. Our guys knew that, and then our defense did a great job of getting a 3-and-out, forcing us going and scoring. It kind of gave us a little momentum, kind of gave us some excitement, some enthusiasm, and I told the guys all week, there's not going to be hardly anybody there. It's just us. It's our family together, and we got to cheer each other on and play for each other. And talk about being passionate about the game of football and passionate about playing for one another. And our kids are buying into those things and starting to really develop it, being a good group of kids that love one another and want to play hard for one another.
You mentioned having good practice. Is this team starting to figure out that you got to do well Monday through Friday to have success on Saturday?
I think so. It's a horrible day out there. The wind was blowing like crazy, but our guys stayed focused. They stayed locked in, and they want to continue to be successful, and that's huge. When your kids are like that, they want to be good, and they want to do things the right way. And it's showing in everything that we're doing right now. Our kids are getting better at everything. They're going to class and doing well on the field, and just doing things the right way, and things are starting to pan out and be good for them.
One guy, of course, last year, Cameron Owen struggled in a lot of areas of life, punting included. But this season, he seems to have completely turned things around and had a great week last week. How nice is it to see him really change?
It's great to see a kid, change from year to year. I mean, he had some ups and downs last year, struggled quite a bit, but he's really focused in this year. He's doing very well in class. He's doing very well on the football field. And he wants to be good, and I think he was MIO Player of the Week this week on special teams, and that's great to see him do those things. And his average is up there pretty high, and he wants to be good, he wants to be successful, and that's good to see out of this kid.
Coach, last year the game against Southwest Baptist really seemed like it was the game that kind of turned the season around, and you finished the season 4-1 from that point on. Did you get momentum? Do you feel like that was the turning point for the team last year, and is it important? Has it fit into this year and the momentum that you guys have built up the last 2 games?
It's kind of the same way. We need to build off of these last 2 weeks and make ourselves better. I mean, SBU is a very good football team. They do some great things, and they're a very competitive football team. I know the record doesn't show it, but when you watch them on film, their defense flies to the ball, and their offense does some very good things. Running the ball and passing the ball. And I think we got some momentum going. We just need to keep that momentum and keep practicing the way our kids know how to practice, and eliminate those little mistakes. If we continue to do that, I think this team has a great chance to do some good things the rest of the season.
I think some people think that Southwest Baptist is kind of the bottom feeder, but your first year here, they of course won on this field. Last year's a very close game. Is this maybe a better team? Maybe what Coach said?
I think so. They got a brand new coach, Coach Schuler, and he's done an excellent job with those guys. And I really have just to watch more defense than anything, and those guys get to the ball very quick, and they're very sound, and I haven't seen very many big plays really against them, and there's been a lot of points scored on them, but those are the teams at Northwest, Mo West, those big teams, Washburns, Emporias, that they've played, and they've hung around, done some good things with them, and offensively they put some points up on the board. They got a very athletic quarterback, a great tailback, and some great receivers. This is no team to look by. I mean, they're no slouch, and they're very competitive, and to me they're a very solid, very well-coached football team.
Last year, I know their linebacking core really impressed you, and we're very impressed. When you see similar things, I know one of those guys is back. Was that a pretty good group kind of lead their defense?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, number 9, I can't remember what his name is right now, but he is a physical specimen. I think he's like 6'2", 230, 240. Very physical football player. I mean, he's knocking guys off the line of scrimmage easily. He runs with the ball well, and I think those guys just feed off of him. And just the way he plays the game, they're starting to play the game the same way he does. And as an offensive coach, it's kind of scary a little bit because the guys are flying around and trying to take your heads off.
Travion certainly threw it well, but he ran it great on Saturday. Was that just something you saw in their defense up?
Yeah, we kind of knew what they were going to line up in. We had a pretty good idea. You know, when Leonwood lines up, they're going to run what they're going to run, and you know, it makes it easy as an offensive coordinator, you know, or as an offensive scheme to kind of figure out what you want to do. And you know that they did what we thought they were going to do, and he saw the holes and made some great reads. You know, running the ball and throwing the ball. I think it was 10 of 11 in the first half, and you know, maybe 16 of 20. And 2 of those balls were drop balls, and one interception, and 1 ball he threw away. So I thought he had a pretty good day, and he's maturing every day and getting better.
Has he really developed as a leader of that offense, the way you'd hope a quarterback would?
Yeah, he is. He's still learning. He's still maturing. He's still growing, and he's starting to figure out, you know, what our offensive scheme is, and really learn how to read the defense, and that's huge. And he's getting guys lined up where they need to get lined up, and he's understanding what we need to get done, and you know, understanding situations now. And you know, that's huge as a quarterback, being that offensive leader. He's starting to develop that, and he's getting better each week with it.
Have you been able to open up your playbook a little bit more as he has progressed?
We're still keeping it pretty simple. You know, we don't want to do too much because we're afraid to overload a kid, and you know, we don't want to overload our offense either. You know, we've got a lot of young guys there. Get good at what we're doing now. Really understand what we're doing. And get good at those little things, and be perfect. And that's something we're working on.
How much has he benefited by being the guy? I mean, there really hasn't been a competition per se since, you know, spring.
I think we just had one more, you know, a little bit more, somebody else pushing a little bit harder. I think it would make him even better. He's still doing a good job of keeping himself motivated, keeping himself, you know, in check, and you know, I keep him in check pretty well myself. I'm very, very hard on him, you know, but I want him to be perfect. I want to make sure he knows everything about the game, and I think he understands that, and he understands why I'm so hard on him, because he knows I want him to be perfect and be a great football player for us, and to lead this team. And you know, it's good to have a kid like that can take those kind of things.
With so many guys who played quarterback for you over the past couple of years, is Travion maybe the most consistent quarterback for you so far?
I think so. I mean, you know, Anthony Shepard's a great quarterback for us, did some very good things. Torian did some great things as well. You know, it was just, you know, them, you know, really stepping up and being a leader for us on the football field. And they did at times, but it wasn't all the time. I think Travion's more consistent at, you know, being there, being consistent with his meetings, being consistent at, you know, all the workouts, making sure he's getting his grades, you know, just doing all those little things right that, you know, as a coach, it makes you feel good to have a kid like that you can count on, and he's going to be there for you.
Saw Daniel and also Nathan back on the field on Saturday. How did they perform?
They did everything they needed to do to get themselves, you know, back on this team and part of this team, and you know, I'm proud of those kids for doing what we asked them to do, and you know, they're a lot better than what they were. They're doing the things we want them to do, and you know, I'm proud of those kids. And you know, kids make mistakes, and things happen. And you know, I hate to throw a kid out on the street. I want to give them a chance to make something of themselves and be somebody. And you know, they understand it now, and they're taking every advantage they can right now.
UIAA has been a landing place for some kids who, for whatever reason, have been in some trouble on the field or off the field. What is it about trying to give a kid a second chance? I mean, how do you judge, okay, this kid, you know, we can take a chance on this kid as opposed to maybe somebody else that you wouldn't take a chance on?
It's hard, you know. You just talk with the kids, speak with the kids, kind of see where they're at, what their feelings are, and let them know, hey, this is it. You know, this is kind of your last stop, and you know, you don't do things well here, you may never play the game of football again. And how much do you love football? And you know, it's just talking with them and maturing and getting them to grow and let them understand that you do care about them. You know, and once they understand that you care about them, you're doing everything you can to make them better. You know, they really start to buy in, and they feel good about you, and they trust you, and those kids really turn around for the good, and you know, they become somebody.
You see that then on after college that they tend to be a little bit more successful?
You do, you know, even as I watched them, there's quite a few kids that, you know, people probably wouldn't take a chance on, and you know, I mean, Kerry Williams is a great example. He was a kid that was kicked out of his school at Fordham University. We took a chance on him, and he came there, and he knew this was it. And now he's playing for the Jets. I think starting corner for the Jets. Is that right? Or the Eagles? The Eagles.
I think, yeah,
starting corner for the Eagles. I mean, and doing great and being very successful in life. And you know, there's a lot of those kids back then that are they've got great jobs now. And, you know, those kids need an opportunity, and you know, maybe they haven't been brought up the right way or understand quite how things work. And you just got to teach them and let them know how things, you know, in this world work.
On the field, what do the Lindsays give you guys now that you've missed the last 4 or 5 games?
They're just so explosive. I mean, they got so much speed, so much athleticism, and they can give us that deep help if we need deep help. If we need to man up, they can man up. If we need to blitz off the edge with quick pressure, they can do those things as well. I mean, there's just so many tangibles that they have, that would benefit our defense, and also just give us some more depth, at each position, at corner and at outside backer. And that's probably the main thing is the depth part, because those guys have been wearing out and getting tired, and when you get tired, it's hard to play the game.
You're going to put them back in return because the guys have kind of filled in for them, done a pretty good job.
Yeah, they've done a good job, but we'll probably switch those guys in and out because a lot of those guys play every special team, so they need as much rest as possible. So we'll use them as much as we can.
You've started Alex and Dumas in place of them. Who will start there?
No, we'll see how practice goes this week. I hate to not let those guys do it again just because they put in the time and done everything we asked to do from the get-go. So, I'll probably see those two starting for us again and then bring the lenses in later on.
Jones with 2 sacks. He seems to have really stepped up nicely for him.
He had a great game, Saturday against Thunderwood. I mean, that's probably the best game he's had since he's been here. Graded out, he was, from our standpoint, coaching-wise, he was defensive lineman of the week. And, he earned it. And he had a great game, made some great sacks, made some great tackles, did the things we asked him to do. And something about that kid, he plays hard all the time. He knows one speed, and that's fast, and, 100% effort. And, he just needs to continue what he's doing and build off of that. And he's got a motor, and he's going to hit you when he gets there.
How is this team's, or what is this team's confidence level right now with the 2 wins back to back?
They feel good. It feels good to get those wins. They're excited about those wins. Just the confidence factor. You just see it on the football field, them just making plays in practice today, and even in the game, they got a little confidence and had a lot of pass breakups in the secondary because they felt good and made some great breaks. A couple of sacks were nice to see. A couple of long runs. Old linemen finishing blocks, and it always helps when you win. When you win, confidence builds, and we just need to keep building off of that and get a few more wins.